Hamid Bartawi.
So when you said, who are you as Hamid, you're running this company, I just see a normal guy put in a situation where I needed to figure out things. They might have history in the company and knowledge and experience, but they know more about the business than you do.
Managing a lot of egos. What was the first thing you did when you came in and you sort of saw what you saw?
I'm working a year and a half with about 5 directors.
I mean, it's not the norm, but it happened. It shouldn't be the norm.
The norm.
Hamid,
هلا
شلونك?
Alhamdulillah, bro.
It's been a while, finally.
Alhamdulillah.
Hamid Bartawi. How would you like to introduce yourself?
Just Hamid.
Bas Hamid?
Just Hamid, to be honest.
Hamid with
Just
some...
Hamid, honestly.
طب, يعني you run a very large construction company. You are carrying your father's legacy. And mashallah, you are in charge of a lot of things that are a bit too much to handle at some point. So at least give us an idea about your background, your upbringing, and how you ended up where you are today.
Okay, cool.
Let's start with
Not childhood, please.
ليش?
Bad childhood. Not bad. I was really naughty.
You were really naughty, so
Really
you gave your
naughty.
parents a hard time.
Oh, really hard.
Who, your mom or your dad more?
My dad.
Yeah.
My dad. I think Allah yarhamah. I think you can say
Taish.
I was the sort of black sheep.
So that's not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
Depends who's taking care of me. I mean, depends who's in charge. It depends what kind of trouble.
But why is that? Yani, why would you say...
I was quite outspoken. I wanted to do things my way. I think what they call it is rebellious.
Yeah.
I was anti-authority to a certain extent. It was not about anti-authority. I just needed to understand what I was going to do before I did it. I didn't like taking orders. I still don't like taking orders. I have a bit of a problem with that. I'm working on it, but to a certain extent.
You've toned it down a little bit over the years. But out of, I think, how many siblings? 10 plus?
Yeah, total of 10.
Total of 10, mashallah. So you were the one that stood out the most. I mean, at least in terms of...
In the negative way, yes.
Yeah.
In the negative way, yes.
Then in that case, which year, at what point in your life do you feel like things started changing and you started maybe being most self-aware of, okay, maybe I need to do something about this rebellious character of mine?
Nothing of that sort. I don't think I stopped being rebellious.
Yeah.
I think I channeled the energy correctly.
Okay, that's interesting.
It's not about rebellious. It's about there's a right way and there's a wrong way.
Yeah.
And then if you want me to do something, I need to understand why I need to do it. Is it right? Is it wrong?
Yeah.
What's the value of doing it like this? It's more curiosity than it is rebellious. I want to know, can I do it better? Is there a better way of doing things? I don't like the status quo and just sticking to the fixed standard, which is just put in front of us. So I like to question things. I'm curious. And then I like to figure out if there's a better way of doing things. And then I'm not afraid to try and go after it. And I think that ticks people off because people like to remain within a certain boundary and they like things done a specific way. Not everyone likes change. I think I thrive on challenge, on change, on figuring out new ways of doing the same thing.
Doesn't it become too much at some point?
I'm wired this way. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell myself it's hard to stop. I like it. I enjoy it.
So I think you thrive on this this challenge or this energy that keeps you on the edge or just keeps pushing you to your absolute limit.
So when you said, who are you as Hamid, you're running this company, I just see a normal guy put in a situation where I needed to figure out things. I I needed to be extremely dynamic. I needed to understand how to run a company I had no knowledge about, how to run real estate I had no knowledge about, how to work around lands I have no understanding of.
That's exactly why I asked this question, because me and you share very similar backgrounds. I think that's why we click in the first place. And I really honestly believe, truly, that it takes a very specific kind of character to be able to run a full-fledged construction company. I mean, and all the things that I've seen, is probably one of the toughest, if not the toughest, sort of industry to be in.
Yeah.
And running it,
Absolutely.
you have to be really built very differently.
Let's give your viewers a bit of an understanding of what kind of elements are involved with running a construction company, and I think we can both share knowledge on this point. You've got projects with strict timelines that need to be met. You've got cash flow management that needs to be extremely on point to not default and break. You need competent people working with you, project controllers, financiers or accountants, purchasers. Every element of the cycle of getting the project done is as important as the other, right?
Yeah.
You've got a consultant who acts as a supervisor to you. You've got a client who's also got an opinion, who's represented by his consultant. You've got government bodies managing the way you operate with your staff internally. You've got a high amount of labor force, staff involved. The regulation on housing. You've got to worry about housing, their standard of living. That's also a cost, a burden.
Yeah.
You've got visas. You've got, there's
The list
so
never ends.
much meticulous things. There's such a long list of things involved that could go wrong, that could affect your...
And most of the time they go wrong.
Absolutely.
No matter how
You're throwing
much
so many things into the mix.
I think the way that you're trying to say it, correct me if I'm wrong, it's too many variables.
Way too many.
Too many variables, and the entire time you're running it, it's just like you're trying to patch these like holes where the water is leaking. Because if you don't patch them properly, it's just eventually, it's going to dry out.
So now we've got this dynamic in an industry that's like this, right? All these different variables all need to come together simultaneously and fit perfectly in order for you to achieve what you've put as a net that you're going to achieve from this project. And they all have to come together very well for you to achieve those targets, right?
And
which is not a big target.
No, it's not.
Right?
I mean, the margins in construction are very small in comparison to the risk that you carry. I think I've never seen... it depends how specialized you are, but on average, the net profits usually vary between 5 to 10% if you're lucky. If you're lucky, unless you really specialize and you've established yourself in a specific niche, that's really the best you can wish for. And that's assuming it's in cash, like assuming it's not just on paper.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes you could be profitable on paper, but you have nothing in the bank account because all your money is just
stuck in the market. And then you've got the problem of, let me take another project to cover the previous project, and let me take another project,
Exactly.
and then you're in that death cycle.
Yeah.
And it's just imminent death. You're just, let me pay salaries and continue. That's all you're doing. Eventually, you're going to death.
Yeah.
As a business.
Yeah.
It's extremely stressful, extremely hard to manage.
Let alone the fact that you're not even an engineer as background. And that was what was so impressive, is because it's very rare that I talk to people that don't come from an engineering background like you, but that are on top of their business and know it inside out from A to Z. And I say it, you're probably one of the most involved and informed businessmen that is on top of their business that has no engineering background whatsoever.
Thank you.
So what does it take? What does it take to really force yourself to be a man that is capable of carrying such a responsibility?
My father didn't struggle, may he rest in peace, didn't struggle for 50 years building this company for his children to come and throw it in the garbage. I do not accept to throw it in the garbage. So this is what I was trying to get to add to the dynamics of contracting, the construction business, and then add to it our specific, unique situation where my dad was having issues, or the company was having issues in the last few years of his life. And after his passing, we had a court liquidator that was managing the assets and the businesses. So it did not really get managed too well from a business perspective. It was
Obviously.
more liquidating and so on and so forth. So we went
Was
down.
this the beginning of the end, probably?
Absolutely. They were winding things down. And we went from having 5,000 employees with huge crusher plants and major infrastructure projects with the government to building about building few villas, small buildings, and it was just a complete shift. And we went down to about, when I took over, 1,000 employees or so. And basically you jump into a business that's at its end. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's just barely surviving. There's about 6-7 operating businesses, supporting businesses to the main contracting division. So you've got aluminium, steel fabrication, aluminium fabrication.
A lot of subsidiaries.
Subsidiaries that basically help reduce cost of, in order to be profitable and make the 10% that we were talking about, and to try and bring it up to 12 or mitigate the risk of dealing with subcontractors and so on and so forth. Excuse me.
Yes.
So, I mean, you come into a business, you don't have experience in the engineering field. You're working with a bunch of people that there might be, they might have history in the company and knowledge and experience, but they know more about the business than you do.
Managing a lot of egos.
They know much more than you do. How are you going to manage them? How are you going to...
So how did you get thrown in that position in the first place? Like how do you find yourself?
We got tired of the liquidator managing it the way he saw fit, and we thought it would be better that no matter what we do, it's going to be better than what he's doing.
Obviously. I mean, no one's going to run it like the stakeholders themselves, but so what did you do? Do you just be like, listen, we're going to interfere?
I don't want to get into too much detail because there's...
obviously, yes.
We've got courts involved and so on and so forth, but we went to the courts and we convinced the... committee to talk to the shareholders, who are my brothers and sisters, and convince them that one of us run the business. And my brothers and sisters, after a long negotiation and trying really hard, agreed to allow me, being this third youngest, at the age of about, 29, 30,
Oh my God.
to start managing it. And the problem, honestly, was not only the contracting. You've got legal cases that are ongoing. You've got assets that you need to fight for and register it under your names. You've got money pouring through holes you don't even know exist, trying to figure out what's going on. So, I mean, I took a straightforward approach to things. I looked at the losing businesses. I went into details of why they were losing. I couldn't get into all of them at once. So we just started winding down each one of those subsidiary businesses, focused on the main business, took small projects, wound down from 1,000 to, one time, 35 or 50, between 35 to 50 people, considering office staff, along with laborers.
So I was about to ask you, what was the first thing you did when you came in and you sort of saw what you saw? I'm sure there was like a first approach
No,
to...
it's not as straightforward as you think.
Yeah?
There's no see what you see. Contractors are very good at hiding things with papers.
Yeah, that's true.
So you
Tell me
don't know.
about it.
You really don't know what's going
You
on.
have to be a very good digger. And you have to have a lot of patience to get into a lot of details and go through a lot of paperwork.
So let me paint a picture for you.
Yeah.
I'm working a year and a half with about 5 directors
Yeah.
who I know are skimming from the top, from the bottom, doing deals on the side.
Yeah.
And I have to continue saying hi to them and work
Yeah.
closely with them and smile at them. And
That's when you first joined.
I know straight up what they're doing. I have people in the market telling me we're taking kickbacks from this guy. We're paying him kickbacks, this guy.
Yeah.
And, I can't. He's got all the information in his hands. I've got
Yeah.
nothing. I've got no backup. We've got
Yeah.
projects that are ongoing. You're not going to stop your projects. It's a bigger loss over there than what he's skimming.
Such an interesting thing. Very few people can really relate to that, but we know it because it's unfortunately common in the market and in the construction industry, to be very specific. I mean, it is. I mean,
Absolutely.
we're not going to shy away from it. We're going to say it as it is. And sometimes, not sometimes, almost 99% of the time, all business owners, such as yourself, tell me the same thing. They're like, we know, but sometimes you have to bite the bullet for the greater good, because too much disruption in a short period of time can cause a lot of chaos.
So I actually put our company through chaos. Is one of my major learnings in this period. Now, I knew I needed to accept some of the shortcomings of a few of these directors. But once they were gone and the new team had joined, they were quite young. They had experience. I was trying to find people that had good core values, ethics, morals, so that would be easier to align with them. In an industry where, as you put, 99% of business owners have this problem, you understand that this is the norm in the field.
I mean, it's not the norm, but it happened. It shouldn't be the norm. That's what I'm saying.
It is the norm.
Yeah, but...
Is it not the norm?
It is, but what I'm trying to say, so that you don't
for the viewers, let's
for
say
the viewers,
it's not.
it shouldn't be.
And we know it shouldn't, but let's be realistic. It is.
It is.
Right?
It is, unfortunately.
It's a standard.
Because there's
and if you're not doing it, you're the odd one out.
Yeah. Or let's say if you're not doing it, what happens is with a lot of business owners, they're like, I risk losing a lot because my business will get blocked here, there. And unfortunately, I have to strategically think about the pros and cons. And this is what every single one of them has a dilemma in. And it's a very difficult position to be in, especially because there's so much money involved.
Absolutely right.
People get greedy, and you see a very ugly side of human beings that you don't usually see. But because in construction there's just money flowing all the time, it changes people.
Absolutely.
A lot.
So maybe we don't need to get too much, go further in details over here, but there's a lot of learnings I got from these experiences. They were all key to how I need to manage my team.
Yeah.
What kind of KPIs need to be put? What kind of incentives need to be put to align them with us?
Yeah.
But even though...
So you created the whole system.
But even though I had that system put in place, I still needed to get rid of the team about 2 or 3 times because it's just the standard and it's running in their blood that this is the way we operate. Why are you trying to change it?
Do you think it's...
They don't know how to.
Do you think it's some leftovers of just old school management?
Absolutely. But even with the young ones, it's just they were trained by the old, right?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because if you look at your father, may he rest in peace, or even my father, they just have this particular way of doing things. And a lot of it back in the day was based on a gentleman agreement and a lot of, how can I say, a man's word.
Absolutely.
Right? So that was really the contract back in the day. And it would be quite shameful if you didn't abide to whatever it is that you were supposed to do. But obviously, as times change and people change and, new blood comes, things sort of get corrupted along the way. And unfortunately, the old way of doing things that doesn't necessarily keep up with the pace of how fast things change. Do you think that your dad maybe tried but couldn't, or do you think he was just a product of his time and that's what he could do and that was his
So,
maximum potential at that time?
product of his time, and lack of technology in the industry.
Very true.
Skilled labor coming from specific parts of the world only, so not as much dynamic kind of labor force. Not only labor, staff.
As we have it now.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got
talent,
You've got
basically.
talents from all around the world coming together to a melting pot, sharing their ideas, coming up with new, unique
Yeah.
ways of operating.
Now. Yeah. Back in the
past,
day.
you've
yeah.
got
few.
three
yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
They run the office.
Yeah.
You've got 2 countries, 3 countries. They're the labor force.
Yeah.
This is what you're dealing with. And,
It becomes
there
like a mafia type of mentality.
so my dad
Basically,
always told me, in one office, put 3 nationalities. Never put 3 of the same nationality in one office.
Yeah.
So what I understood was,
Yeah.
beware of the gangs.
Yeah.
And there's no way around it. And he always said, I know people are taking, but
Yeah.
what
I
can
can't
you
put
do?
my finger on it.
What can you do?
Yeah.
There's some crazy. I learned crazy things. I learned crazy things.
Yeah.
There was one guy who was making so much money. He was building hospitals back home. He was a Robin Hood. I'm not joking. A Robin Hood. I like the guy so much.
Yeah.
And I'd always tell him. I remember my first year. By the end of the first year, I had given him an offer to basically pay his salary for 2 years, but he retires. He was about 80.
80.
80.
Damn, that
He
guy
knew
still had
everything.
energy at
He knew
80
everything.
years old.
He was a little old man with
Yeah.
experience of the world, knowledge of everything my dad did, and
Yeah.
they built it all together. And
Yeah.
I said, come, I'll give you a 2-year contract. All you need to do is teach number 2
Which is
to prep him to be number 1. Not me, some other guy that
Oh,
I would
okay.
hire of my choice.
okay.
That he shares that knowledge that he has with
Okay.
number 2. He said okay and agreed to the deal, and he was doing it. And every time he would share a new methodology of making his side income, I would be shocked. I'd say, how did you get this done? And he'd say, don't worry, I'm not taking it from your part of the cake. So you're good. And you're still making profit. You're always making profit with me. Don't worry. I'm taking a little bit, but I'm taking it from his. Do you understand?
صريح الأخ.
I don't want to go into too much depth,
Yeah.
but
But these stories are so funny because it's so hard to imagine that people can really be like that. But we get it because we're in this field, and we've been in it for a long time. Sorry, but what always fascinates me and what always makes me so intrigued is how people get started in the first place. And I actually am very curious to know about how your dad got into it in the first
Contracting?
place. Yeah, and then how he dragged you into it. Like how was his beginnings, and then how did you find yourself as a kid growing up in this
my dad,
field?
in my opinion, was in a country where it had extreme potential,
Yeah.
extreme hunger for
Yeah.
being number 1, a visionary leader, and a willingness to support the community who are interested in bettering his country or city. So my dad,
Perfect ecosystem.
he started as X, ended up doing Y, asked him to do this, then do this, then do this, ended up being a sheikh coming and saying, Bartawi, can you do this? I need help with my villa. We don't have villas. All right, I'll build it for you. Can you do my
We're
farm?
talking what, like now 70s, 80s?
Can you build my farm? Yeah, I can build your farm. We need an airport. Okay, let's build. We need, a runway. We need, figure it out. We'd rather deal with you than
Someone that we don't know.
figure it out. We'll give you the project.
So
Okay. He'll go travel to a country, get some people, hire them, bring them back, get the material, buy machinery, buy the required material to execute the project. Okay, we need to build a lot of roads, infrastructure. Okay, cool. I'll go into the mountains and I'll start blowing it up and getting stone for you. Okay, we need to reduce costs. Cool. Help me with an investment, get a bank to approve a loan, which is not heard of in this country yet.
yeah,
But I need a huge infrastructure. I need a crushing plant. I need to blow up mountains. I need laborers. I need heavy duty machinery. I need money. Cool, take a loan. They'll go find a bank. Government will help get the bank involved, approve the loan. At one point, we were doing about 90% of municipality projects, a huge number of roads and infrastructure in Dubai. So you've got opportunity, and then you've got quality. And as you said rightfully earlier, say what you do what you say you're going to do, right? If you say you're going to get it done, and you get it done, you are an asset for Dubai's leadership. That's how it was. So I presume what I believe is he was one of their assets that helped them build certain projects and at a time of need. And that's what got him into it. I mean, like I said, so he started with, let's say, a garage into a carpentry factory, into a aluminium fabricating facility, into a steel facility, into a contracting job, into our business, into a and just.
So the guy just went into all the supply chain.
You want to know a secret?
What?
He was not an engineer.
Wow.
Either. But what I did
not
find...
an engineer.
No,
I did not know that, but we never discussed that. That's crazy.
But what
so
I
this
did
guy
find...
just learned it as...
He was learning his whole life.
As he went along, and he was taking... And he wasn't even an engineer. Unbelievable.
Studying... He even developed his own machines. I mean, he'd fabricate specific machines to cater to the crushing business. That was one of the main drivers. Because you can't build roads without the
Obviously,
stone.
it's the most important part of your supply chain.
So he had about, I don't know, let's say 1,000 people working on site. But the process was too operationally heavy with manpower. He needed a process that sped up. He actually created something called a spider, where it was a, let's say, a unit where it had 8 to 10 arms, which are the conveyor belts that would pull up the material, pull it into the main unit, which would wash the stone, go down to the second unit, dry the stone, and then give you clean, ready stones to be deployed to sites, to be... this was not something that existed. And like I said, he was not an engineer, but he saw a problem. And he thought, well, can't we just put 1 + 1 and get 2? So work on it and do it. And I think that really gave me the push, because I always knew, right? Regardless whether he called himself an engineer or not. But I always knew, I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. And if you're trying to solve a problem and you put your mind to it, you can solve the problem. And I think...
Especially in a place like Dubai, where impossible is not something they ever say.
I wonder if we should cut out this whole engineer part. Me saying my dad wasn't an engineer. But I don't mind, whatever.
Fine.
Anyways.
Blacks. It's something to be proud of. But for me, the reason why I'm asking about all of this is because sometimes I wonder, in hindsight, whether any of us, whether it's your dad, my dad, yourself, or anyone else that's in this business, if you look back and be like, damn, I took on more than I can chew. Because sometimes it gets very...
Absolutely
attractive to take on more and more and grow. And then I always wonder, like, do they ever look back and be like, yeah, I took on more than I can chew, and maybe this was about...
I don't know if I should say this story either. It's too much personal information, but I'm sure my dad fell into that trap. He told us he gave us a story about his dream.
Yeah, without getting into much details.
His dream was to go somewhere
specific
in the world.
Yeah.
And he said, as soon as I reach X amount, I'm going to go. And then he added a 0. And then he added another 0. And the target just kept getting bigger and bigger because the possibility was there.
Yeah.
You understand? I mean, he was one of the main contractors building Dubai. I mean, the possibility was there.
And your dad's no different than all the other. Any man that's put in that situation is always going to be. He just wants to grow.
But I've learned from that.
What did you learn?
I mean, that's not my intention right now. I'm not interested in growing unlimited to an unlimited.
Why not?
Number.
If you can grow and grow in a healthy way.
Steadily, healthy, structured, calculated, absolutely. But just because there are big projects that's being offered to me, I'm not ready to take it. Just because they're there to be grabbed. I mean, that's there's a level of quality you want to keep. There's a level of structure that you want to maintain. There's a level of risk that you want to maintain.
So what makes you not take a project? It's a good question, no? Unless you don't want to give out
you've got payment terms. You've got the client himself or the developer.
Yeah.
Everyone's got not a reputation, a way of doing things.
Everyone has a reputation. Come on.
And a way of doing things, right?
Yeah. We know very well who pays, who doesn't pay, etc.
Other than that, there are just some people that like to work in a specific way that does not align with our moral compass or methodology of working, or put it how you may. For example, I'm not with. If I sign a contract, I'm with executing my contract as signed. It's something almost religious. You've made an agreement. You've signed on it. You need to stick by it. If there are payment terms that say you need to get paid X once you've done Y, you need to get paid X once Y is completed. The business is got studied cash flows that it's working on. I mean, planned cash flows, planned period of construction that it needs to religiously stick by to complete within that time frame.
That's very true.
If you go and you stop a payment, what do you expect is going to happen? You are throwing a wrench into the wheel. And, and to be honest, once that happens, if you're dealing with a client or whatnot that does not understand this or takes advantage of this to use it to his benefit, to twist your arm and get you to put in more cash and wait longer for him to get more benefit, I mean, that this is not a fair or a relationship that you want to be in. We run our business in a specific way. I mean, we've got very good relations internally with our internal team. We've got good relations with all our suppliers, all our clients, all our subcontractors. I mean, we do business not only based on trust, but based on relationship, right? There needs to be trust. There needs to be alignment. There needs to be competency. And people who do what they say they're going to do. It's very important to get things done in this field. And I think that's how I pick specifically my consultant. Yeah.
So basically what you're trying to say is, in other words, it really falls down to the type of contract that you sign. It's just all the terms and conditions and how, let's say, balanced they are. Because
it's very clear what they're trying to do when you read the terms and conditions.
Of course, you can already see where it's going.
You know what their intentions are.
I mean, if you read the contract carefully, you can understand. And a lot of the clients, sometimes they take advantage of that. And then the contract is one-sided. And it's just like a take it or leave it type of attitude. And Absolutely. If they know a contractor is desperate to take on a project, like many of them are.
That's the bigger problem, right?
Yes.
People want growth. And they're ready to do it at any expense. And they have the false belief that big name equal security.
Absolutely not.
And
It's
this is
actually the
not
opposite.
the case.
It's most of the
Right?
time it's the opposite.
So who suffers? The small ones,
Yeah.
the middle level companies, size
Yeah.
companies.
Because you're at the bottom of the food chain, right?
Absolutely.
Actually, you're not at the bottom of the food chain. You're in the middle of the food chain. Because if you're at the bottom of the food chain, you're actually safe because no supplier is going to give you any materials unless he's paid 100% in cash. So he gets his money up front. And you're stuck in the middle trying to deliver a project, managing to pay all your suppliers up front, but also having delayed payments from the client.
It just doesn't work. And then what you
So
have
how
is
do
a
you-
high turnover of subcontractors.
Yeah, that's true.
And, you know, you might finish your project on time, but at what expense? Achieving your 10% at the expense of destroying 30 contractors working with you?
Yeah,
Who would want to work with someone like that?
yeah.
When you know that's the background that they have. And then, oh, let's put 1 million, 2 million dirhams into branding and marketing and let's look nice again.
So how do you fix this problem then, knowing that this is let's say the vicious cycle of construction? What was your approach to sort of not fall into that trap?
Know your customer, know who you're going to work with. Hire experienced people. I'm a business owner. You can say I'm a contractor, but I just have knowledge. I'm not actually managing the day-to-day of the contracting business. I've got a business partner that's managing it. But I found someone who's highly capable, experienced, and more importantly, had a clean conscience. So, ethics, morals, vision was aligned before even working together. And
you know that how?
I'm a clear, straightforward individual. I can read people to a certain extent quite well. And if I'm sitting with you and talking about your moral compass and, you know, there's a camera here, I can't really answer you properly, but you can tell who's... sometimes it's very clear when someone's selling you BS and when someone's actually... You can see them.
Yeah.
They're not doing so well off, right? You can see that his moral compass has gotten him into not such a good situation in a market where 99 goddamn % want to go.
But there's a diagnosis for that.
What's that?
It's loss of barakah.
100%.
Loss of
100%.
barakah.
But this is a concept people don't think about in business. Blessing, right?
Yeah.
People consider religion and business two separate things, but
Or not.
religion is a way of life. How you deal with people, how you deal with employees, how you deal with customers, how you deal with contracts, how you deal with running a country. I mean, it's much deeper than pray 5 times a day and don't do this and don't do that. It's a way of life.
And how do you integrate that in your business?
Well, we started off with saying I have no experience in contracting or in the fields that we were in. And I think that was where I got my moral compass from.
Yeah.
Any situation where I did not know what to do, I would ask myself, what does Islam say to do? Or what kind of stories are there that share similar kind of situations where a prophet or a sahabi, companion, took a course of action that pleased Allah or pleased...
Where were you always like this?
No.
What made you change?
Understanding that life is serious. It's
Temporary.
yes. It's just, you know, you get to a point where you need to start making serious decisions and you think, what kind of life do I want?
Yeah.
How do I want to have lived my life? What do I accept and not accept? And I never killed my internal. When you do wrong for so long, you sort of try to kill the, I don't know what you call it, but there's a voice within. You can numb it and you can pretend it's not there and continue living. I never numbed it. I'd listen to my nafs. I'd hear the good and the bad. Let's do this. And no, this is bad. And I'd always wonder, why am I thinking two thoughts? Why? What's right? What's wrong? I'm always looking for answers. I'm always looking for... ما تبغى تظلم نفسك. You want to give your soul, your body, the right it deserves, right? And when you have a religion as deep as Islam, complete, discusses everything about a way of life, and you start implementing them and see the positives in this life, and you realize that there are blessings all around you, and you notice them and you experience them on a regular basis, there's no reason to go the other way. I mean, but initially you need to determine that you need to decide to go down this route. It's going to be a bit hard. You need to figure it out. You need to find out. You need to you'll have people push you away. You'll have people try to pull you back. But at the end of the day, I mean, it all gets back to, what do you want? What are your goals? You want to live comfortable? You want to be at peace with yourself? Or do you want to be at a constant conflict or internally numb?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in that. I wanted to sleep comfortably at night. I wanted to feel that I took care of my blessing, which was life that God gave me, and the body that I have, and those loved ones around me, and these small temptations, they just kept me empty. They had no long-term value in it. I knew something was wrong and I needed to look for... So before even getting into the family business, I was doing a little bit of soul searching and research. I was nowhere near a mutawwa or anything like that. I stuck to my prayers. And very little knowledge from stories. I didn't even have religious friends, to be very honest with you. But when I was put in the situation of running this business and the amount of stress that I was going through, the hardship, it was something else. It was not normal. I felt I needed help. I needed it. I was losing my mind. I was losing my health. I was losing my family. I was losing almost everything. I lost myself. It's quite hectic. So I looked to Islam to see what is the better way of overcoming this specific challenge. Or if I had a decision to make, am I thinking about it correctly? Is there someone who has a right that I'm not giving it to him? Am I eating someone's right? Or
so you're questioning everything.
I was questioning everything. Is this decision good for my family or good for me? Is this decision good for business or good for family and business? Family, I mean shareholders.
So you're doing like moral accountability all the time.
All the time.
On everything.
Everything. And it's just tiresome. I mean, it's extremely tiring. You go to sleep with no more energy left. Imagine you've got 10 siblings. And day-to-day decisions that you make, each one of them affect them either directly or indirectly. And you're regularly meeting with them and reporting to them. And they're questioning you on certain decisions that you're making. So there needs to be a manhajiyya.
Yeah.
There needs to be a specific strategy or system that you follow. And I found Islam to have a wholesome system that gives me an all-round idea of what to do in what situation. And to be frank with you, it helps you with legal, it helps you with regulation, it helps you with managing your staff, it helps you with, it's It's just
So instead of doing an
perfect.
MBA, you looked at.
I looked at Islam and I just implemented what Islam would teach. Pay your people fair wage. Pay them before the sweat falls down his. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pay them before the sweat falls down his
Face.
face. Follow your contracts.
Yeah.
Be honest.
Yeah.
Don't cheat. Just small things, but they go very far. They go very far.
Other
in
people would
business.
argue that that would be a bit naive in today's world, given how ruthless businesses have become and how tough it is in the construction industry.
I can be ruthless.
Yeah.
Doing business is one thing, and being a liar is another thing. I can be a ruthless businessman.
Yeah.
And there's KPIs, there's targets, people need to achieve them, and if they don't, there's hell to pay.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that I go around lying to people to get what I want, cheating people to get quick wins. There's no longevity in that system. بعدين, you want to go to sleep knowing that,
You've done right.
right? You don't want to go to sleep thinking, I've hurt all these people, and all these people that have been hurt because of me are probably,
Yeah.
asking their creator to take revenge for them. Why do you want this on your soul? Now, I know there are people who don't have a soul and they've gotten over this part, but that's their prerogative. I don't want to have that issue. I'm happy to have pain and concerns and to overthink and to ensure that I'm following a path that's all right with my moral compass, and I can sleep well at night knowing that. And let me tell you something else. Over the last 8 years, we've had an average year-on-year growth of over 25% every year.
Wow.
So, alhamdulillah, yes, we lost millions because of some of these ethical decisions, but we made much more because of them. And to me, that's enough proof that the route that you're taking, which might not be conventional, and the majority of the market don't follow it, has financial benefits and emotional benefit. And more importantly, a beautiful environment and system to work within. We can talk about that as well. I mean,
but what would you like? People in this field find themselves a lot forced to bend corners to get by, whether on a daily basis or on a continuous basis. Well, how would you argue that point, that sometimes they're really forced to bend
I don't know,
corners?
it's very hard. You're put in situations where hard decisions need to be made.
Yeah.
You want to trust that there's somebody above watching you. And I mean, look, when you take these corners that need to be cut, along with the stress that you're dealing with, along with mental health issues, along with physical health issues, eventually you break. You need to have a way of managing it. You need to have, and there are a few ways around it. One is give the problem to someone else and tell them, you do it. I'm going to act like I don't know. Another way is taking responsibility and doing it yourself, which a lot of people are accepting and doing it. My way is, I know this is wrong. Allah tells me not to do this. I would prefer not doing it, and I leave my destiny to Allah. Whatever He decides, that's what's going to happen. If I'm meant to lose money and our family are meant to lose it all because of this one decision, maybe that's what needs to happen. But until today, alhamdulillah, I've only taken or tried my best to only take the decisions that were right in the eyes of Allah and our religion. And like I told you, the net outcome was always been double-digit positives.
MashaAllah.
Alhamdulillah.
That's great. And what would you say was probably the number one principle that you apply based on this ideology? What would you say is the number one principle that you apply at work?
There's a lot. I mean, we need to get a bit more specific. If we're talking about projects, if we're talking about
No,
employees,
no,
if
I'm
we're
talking about
about
ideology, like the moral, religious ideology that you like to incorporate in your.
أخي في حلال في حرام. Paying money under the table is haram. Don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to get into too much detail on it, but moral compass or the it's clear.
Yeah.
Your soul knows what's right or wrong.
Yeah.
Your brain gets in the way of making you say or accept to do it because of an excuse it comes up with that, look, I'm going to lose money.
Yeah.
Right? But when you don't believe that money comes from me, money comes from Allah, He decides what I'm going to make. He decides what's going to come to me. It's not my decision to make. I have been told that this is right and this is wrong. My test is to do the right and avoid the wrong. The rest is not in my hand. You need to let go. You're not in control. You're nothing. You're nothing. You're one individual in a world of billions.
But to do that, you need to have unshakable faith.
كله shakeable. ما في unshakable. Everything is shakeable. The devil's whispering in your ears, man, it's $1 million. Just take it. Just take it. But then there's a conscience within. Yeah. And there's an internal decision that you make. Yes, this is wrong, but I want to do it. Yes, this is wrong, and I don't want to pay in my grave because I'm leaving in a couple of years, and I don't know when I'm leaving, actually. So leave it with Allah. And let me just go. I know that most viewers are not even going to understand what I'm talking about, and they're going to think, what is this guy on about? He's living in La La Land.
You'd be surprised.
But they have no idea I was that individual that was living the life of...
Let's say the halal haram ratio was not right.
Absolutely. Right?
So now you fix that ratio.
And I saw the outcomes of living like that, and I saw the outcomes of living like this. And living like this, it's beautiful. It's harmony.
So what was the turning point then? Something must have happened. You must have met someone. What was your awakening?
I don't know if I should answer this.
You don't really have to disclose too many details, but I'm sure you could help out a lot of people if you probably give the answer they need to hear.
I spent time looking at what the opposing team were doing in order to ensure more people stay away from this. And I was shocked with the amount of effort and money put in moving people away from this kind of lifestyle. And I just thought, I'm not with the 80%. I'm with the 20%. Not going to be with the 80%. Impossible the 80% are correct.
I mean, that gets us into a different 80-20 principle and applying it and fully comprehending that 80% of your business comes from 20% of your clients and 20% of your effort. And sometimes all you need is that 20% with God's blessing to be enough for you to give you 80% of the revenue that you need. And that's a crazy thing, is that people don't realize that's just very little. It's just very little what you need to sort of, let's say, be complete, or not, you'll never be complete, but let's say to be satisfied, or to be at least...
No human satisfied, unfortunately.
Yeah, but if you start being...
but there's a way of being satisfied.
Yeah, if you start being, let's say, content.
Yes.
That's a word I think that I should have chosen. Content, qanu'. Basically that you are accepting of God's blessings and you are thankful for them. You wish for more, but it's not up to you to decide that, because the pie has already been divided in a specific way, and that's just the way the world works.
And let's say that's based on Islamic teachings, right?
Yeah.
But generally speaking, let's think about it. You're in trouble, whatever this trouble is. I remember this really nice chart when I was going through hell. Really, I was in a black place. I was really lost. I needed a lot of help with the company, with my family, with my home. I was just married. I got drafted to military. I was in a very bad place. Physically, I was doing really bad. And I got this small chart on Instagram where it said, do you have a problem? Can you do something about it?
Yeah.
If yes, do it. If no, why worry?
Yeah.
And it's very simple, very straightforward. Do something about it, and then you don't need to worry. Because worry is the true killer, right? Or do nothing about it because you can't do anything about it. And why worry? This goes to the point of tawakkul. You need to give up and let go that you're not in control of anything. Not in control of actually anything except your thoughts and your actions. Think well, trust in your creator, trust that he has a plan for you, trust that he's there. And what did I say? I said,
if you can't do anything about it.
Your actions.
Yeah.
The second thing was your actions. You get day-to-day decisions that pop up in front of you. One is right, one is wrong. One is wrong, one is more wrong. Choose the less wrong, the lesser evil, right? The more you take better decisions, the better end result you achieve. It's very simple.
But if someone's really, really down on his luck and he's struggling, and sometimes he just really has to, like, maybe, do something that's not, let's say...
steal from someone else?
Morally accepted. Whatever it is. Because I hear that argument all the time, and I ask them, and I'm like, but like, you do realize you're just attracting.
Your viewers are probably seeing an Emirati guy sitting over here thinking, you know what?
Yeah.
This guy's got a golden spoon fed in his mouth every single day. He knows nothing that he's talking about and the struggles that we go through. Yeah. What is he? They have no idea who my father was, may he rest in peace. They have no idea the kind of upbringing he put us through.
Yeah.
We wanted a bicycle. We'd get 7 A's. Hamid does not know how to get A's.
Hamid was too distracted.
What does Hamid do? My dad, fine. Go do this for me. Go work in my company for 3 months and I'll get you a bicycle. Work for 3 months to get a bicycle. Here's 20 dirham per week. Live on it. Figure it out. You want to go out with your friends or you want to buy food at school? The decision is yours. Here's 20 dirham. So I went and bought chocolates in the morning and sold them in school. Ended up buying other things regularly and selling them in school. Made a business out of it. Made money out of it. And started. So what I'm trying to say is...
So you were Willy Wonka, basically, of the school.
Nothing was just handed over to us, right? Not even the company that I'm currently running was handed over to me. And until today, there's internal issues that are huge. But I'd rather not get into them.
Yeah.
But it's not as easygoing as people think. You're running a construction company. You've got, without being an engineer, you've got a huge team working in the company, running projects worth many millions. You've got assets, real estate, labor camps, plots. I mean, and then you've got stakeholder management.
Do you think it's because of this stress and because of this amount of risk that's associated with this business? That's why locals and many other nationalities shy away from this ruthless industry?
I found out last week I've got a 6th disc. So Ruthless is the right word. Hectic is the right word.
Yeah.
Troublesome is the right word. Stressful is the right word. There's so many words you can use.
خليه يكمل ما في مشكلة.
جلسة بعدك
كيف؟
عندي جلسة على 7:30 فنحن اوريدي قطعنا الساعة.
طب ماشي خلينا
ما
بس
فيني اقطع هلا نحاول نقطع هلا بس انه
5 دقايق.
بس يعني انه بس
تمام.
الجلسة
نحن معقولة صرنا ساعة؟
صرنا ساعة
لا بدينا متأخرين.
ساعة وربع بس الآن على الروب.
اوكي.
يعني انا لما بلشنا
تمام
ساعة
تمام
وربع
تمام.
دقايق.
اوكي.
طيب نحن بس 10 دقايق ومنخلص اوكي.
انا مو مشاني لانه عندي جلسة
بحاول
ساعة
أخلص
ونص.
قدر
ساعة
الإمكان.
بتسكر ابكر
تمام.
ما في مشكلة.
تمام.
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about this why people shy away from this ruthless business, and you said you had a 6-disc.
I mean, I started with 2 in my upper neck, cervical discs, herniated discs. Ended up with 3 and 2 in my lower back. And now I found out I've done surgery. I've fixed 3 of the discs. And now I realized I have 1 more in the upper cervical area. And my lower disc has gotten much worse than it was the last time I was doing an MRI. Last time I did an MRI. It's a constant work in progress. Managing the stress. You don't go out of the stress. You figure out how to live with it. And it comes with, it's a status quo with starting working in this industry. You just got to figure out how to cope with the environment and accept it is what it is. You're either going to manage it this way and figure out how to manage, or outsource the risk, and then you're in higher risk, to be honest.
But I think that's really is the main reason why people just don't like to get into it. There's just too many variables. It's just difficult to control. But I mean, high risk, high reward, right?
Absolutely.
So if you really know what you're doing and if you're capable of taking on risks, I think it's a great industry. But also you have to really know how to maneuver yourself.
And with the amount of cash flow that comes in, you're able to open and find other opportunities, other businesses, because it operates with so many different fields. I mean, wood, steel, aluminium, concrete. I mean, you can open up so many different businesses just from having this as a main core business.
Yeah.
There's a lot of expansion with working in this field.
Yeah.
And they're all highly operation heavy.
Yeah.
Risk heavy, but like you said, higher risk, higher return.
But if you had to, now that you're in your dad's shoes, and if you had to pass on some valuable lessons to your kids, whoever else is going to, from your offspring that's going to run the business, what would be a few lessons that you would teach them first?
Don't go into contracting. No, but seriously, I mean, you know, do something for yourself. I mean, don't wait. All this planning. I always hear about planning. How much are you going to plan? Just do something already. You're going to make mistakes. You need to learn from these mistakes. They're part of the process. Stop worrying about losing and making mistakes. Do it while you're young. The older you grow, the harder it is to do any of these. I'm sure many people have said this, but just start already.
Yeah.
Take the risk.
Yeah. But let's have some fire rapid questions to sort of
Okay.
that way. Sorry, let's have some rapid fire questions to sort of pick on Hamid's brain and see what you prefer. Let's start. Good profits or early payments?
Early payment.
Juggling subcontractors or chasing payments?
Juggling subcontractors.
Worst contract clause?
Skip.
You don't want to disclose. Skip. Being on site or in the office?
Office for me.
Yeah. WhatsApp voice note or actual site visit?
Site visit.
The best thing about Dubai?
Melting pot. The different people and
Yeah.
all the people.
The most challenging thing about Dubai?
All the construction. I mean, concrete, lack of nature.
Yeah. Concrete jungle.
Hmm.
I mean, you can go to Hatta. You can go
Heat.
to, yeah, the heat. Yeah, it is. But biggest flex, finishing ahead of time or under budget?
Ahead of time.
Really?
You make more money, you finish ahead of time. Under budget, same, but finish
Yeah.
before time.
But if your project is going bad, do you fix it fast or cut your losses?
Depends. If the problem is from us, fix it. If the problem is from the other party, which is the developer, or quit.
The most important person on site, an engineer with brains or a foreman with hustle?
Oh, very hard. Yeah, and if the engineer has brains, he'll get a foreman with hustle. So engineer with brains.
That's a good answer. If you could build anything anywhere in Dubai, what would it be?
Skip.
Skip. Okay. What's the most valuable thing in Dubai? Connections or capability?
Connections.
Connections. Yeah. Finish the sentence. In Dubai construction, if you don't have space, you'll never survive.
Qualified staff.
Good answer. I thought you were gonna say something else, but okay.
Money?
Have you?
Money?
No, I'll keep the answer to myself
Okay.
too. Have you ever been in a meeting where you didn't understand a single thing that was being talked about and you acted like you did?
Oh, I come from a school of thought of ask, look stupid for a moment,
Yeah.
and know, and get educated. So,
the
no,
answer is yes.
no, I'd ask.
Yeah, but you didn't know.
I'd
what-
look stupid. I'll ask and look stupid.
Okay. All right.
I'll never pretend I didn't.
Okay. If you want to ghost a client or subcontractor, what's the best excuse?
I hate you
Straightforward.
because you're not going to ghost someone who's doing his job. You're going to ghost someone who really doesn't deserve it.
That's true. But how many notifications do you have on your phone right now?
Zero.
Really?
Zero.
You're in construction business and you have zero
Zero.
notification? You're psychotic.
Yeah, I have a few. How much? 4?
Man, bro, I have
And one is
I have
family.
like 8,000.
I have a team and I rely on them and they're incentivized correctly to manage things properly.
Yeah, for me, I'm copied in too many things. So.
Oh, no. I can't do
Okay.
with commotion and
Okay. Well, then I guess we're different in that sense.
yeah.
Have you ever taken any important calls in the bathroom?
Of course. Of course. But on your last question, 3-4 groups with 1,000 notifications, but
Okay.
not many of them.
Yeah, I understand. Are there any stereotypes are the stereotypes in construction real?
You want to get me in trouble?
I mean, just a yes or no answer.
Yes, very hard to deal with engineers.
Okay, but I was more referring to nationalities.
I can't. No,
Yeah.
don't get me in trouble. You're trying to get me in trouble?
Like, what's the most common lie in this business?
I don't have money.
If you're not doing this job, what else would you be doing?
Building another business. I mean,
Yeah,
in a hectic field.
yeah.
I like hectic.
Now, I want you to look at the camera and give one message to your dad.
Skip.
Skip.
No.
You cannot. I'm sure he'd be very proud
Inshallah.
of what you've accomplished so far. But I think we should
I
definitely.
didn't copy paste.
Yeah.
I took my own route.
Still.
Different time, different. Inshallah,
Yeah.
I wish he's proud. I
I'm sure
believe
he
he
is.
will be, inshallah.
Hamid, it was
Sharafna.
great having you.
Thank you for having me.
This was
Muhammad.
so good.
It was a pleasure.
Habibi. Thank you.
Appreciate it.